my lovely students, how are you all? A very hearty welcome to this mind-blowing platform, Physics Wala. My name is Super Sharma and today we are going to do reported speech. Okay, reported speech we are going to do today. Reported speech, which is also called narration. See, a lot of students face many problems in reported speech. They are quite scared of this topic. But I'm telling you, you do not need to be scared of this topic. It's very simple. You just need to focus on a few rules. You just need to learn a few changes. Okay, a few changes do occur in reported speech, in direct and indirect. But if you just memorize these rules, everything is gonna be okay. Okay, and after practicing, you will be able to solve it clearly. Okay. See, before that, I would like to tell you something. If you have seen, the sample paper, you must have seen that there were three questions from this reported speech. So it's a very important topic from the point of view of exam. And what kind of questions can come in the exam? I have given the questions I have just mentioned in the end, the sample papers, the questions from the sample paper, so that you can just get to know about it. So, we are going to have an overview, then we are going to discuss the rules of reported speech. We are going to see the changes in reported verbs, pronouns, tenses, changes in situations, interrogatives and modal verbs. Okay, I have tried to cover all the topics, okay, of all kind of sentences, okay, whether it be imperative sentences, they can be your interrogative, imperative and positive sentences, negative sentences, each and every kind of sentences we have covered here. And plus, as I have told you, we are going to do the sample paper questions as well. Okay, sample paper questions from your latest sample paper. Okay, so statements, commands, requests and questions, all of these, if we talk about all of these sentences, these words spoken by a person can be reported in two ways. All these, whether it is a statement, whether it is a command, you're commanding someone, whether you are requesting someone, you're pleading to someone, or whether you are asking a question from someone, all these type of sentences can be said in two ways, that is direct and indirect. The words spoken by a person can be reported in two ways, direct and indirect, and today we are going to learn that how we have to convert these type of sentences. When we quote the exact words spoken by a person, we call it direct speech. What happens in direct speech? When we are talking about direct speech, whatever we have told someone, the exact dialogue, this you have to remember. Okay, for example, I am telling to someone what this person told me. Okay, I'm talking about a random person, and whatever that random person told me, I have just told it. Okay, like it's a dialogue. For example, Sohan said to Mohan, I am going to school. This is the exact dialogue. This is what exactly was being told by Sohan to Mohan. Okay, so this is your direct speech. Okay, now what is reported speech here? See, Rohan said to Mohan, before this comma, before we place the comma, this is your reported clause. This is your reported clause. This said, this verb that you see here, this is your reporting verb. Okay, and this line here, okay, this dialogue which is between the inverted commas, this is the reported speech. The exact words spoken by Sohan are put within inverted commas. The exact words, he did not change the words at all. The exact dialogue was put in inverted commas, but when we give the substance of what Sohan said, it is called the indirect speech. What happens in indirect speech is that we give the substance. Whatever he told, we are, telling the other person, but we are making a few changes. We are not telling the exact dialogue. We are just giving the substance. For example, the indirect speech of this line would be, Sohan said to Mohan, Sohan told Mohan, that he was going to school. See, a lot of changes. a lot of changes did occur in this sentence. Sohan told Mohan, said to change into told. This comma has been removed and we replaced it by that. He, I became he. Okay, the first person became the third person. This is very important. While we are reporting, while we are changing the sentence from direct to indirect, what we are doing, we are changing the subject. The subject needs to be changed. Okay, the subject has been changed from first person to the third person, and the tense was also changed. I am changed into was. Okay, this sentence, I am going to school, it is in present continuous, and in this sentence we can see that it has been changed to past continuous. So he was going to school. So many changes took place, but what kind of changes will come, where we have to make the changes, this we have to memorize. When we'll keep on doing the sentences, we'll realize that, you know, this changes, a few changes are always constant. Okay, only we have to take care about the tense. Okay, so the tense needs to be taken care of. Like the rules of reported speech. While changing direct speech into reported speech or vice versa, the following changes occur. Okay, the following changes occurs. Okay, like first of all, subject is changed. Subject is changed from first person to third person. This you have to remember. The subject changes from the first person to the third person. If it's already in the third person, it's gonna remain in the third person only. If it's in second person, you. If it's in second person, it changes into the first person. See, remember, if it's in first person, it changes into the third person. If it's in third person remains the third person only. But if it's in second person, the second person changes into the first person. So this is all about the subjects. And now we are going to focus on all the changes that can occur. Changes in reporting verb. As I told you, what's reporting verb? Reporting verb, I told you, that said. The word that I underlined and I told you that this is a reporting verb. Reporting verbs, what kind of reporting verbs can we use? For the affirmative sentences, we use told, asserted, replied, assured, informed, responded, whispered, alleged, believed, assumed, and thought. So many students are confused that which kind of reporting verb is being used here. Okay, what kind of reporting verb is being used here? A lot of students are confused. See, when you will read the sentence, the kind of sentences that are given to you in exam, you can easily tell that what kind of reporting verb we have to use with affirmative sentences. But the good news is that in your exam, the type of questions that have appeared, you do not need to put the reporting verbs. Okay, this is just for your exam, I'm telling you. For the exam point of view, for the board point of view, the reporting verbs are already given to you. But even if they are not given to you, you can easily guess it by just looking at the direct speech. The direct speech, the whole situation is explained to you. For example, here a word has been used, whispered. Okay, the person whispered. Okay, so it's written in the direct speech also that the person is, that Rohan whispered in Mohan's ear, I have a secret to tell you. Okay, so in that case, the reporting verb will remain whispered. Rohan whispered to Sohan that he has a secret to tell him. He says, now I have a secret to tell you. So I is in first person. The first person changes into the third person. Okay, I hope that you understand. Now, when we talk about the interrogative sentences, in the case of interrogative sentences, the reporting verbs are asked, inquired, wanted to know. Now, they also depend on the type of sentences that are being asked from you. Okay, the type of sentences that come in your paper. See, imperative sentences. What are imperative sentences? Now, a lot of you may not know that what are imperative sentences. For knowing the imperative sentences, there is a formula called CAR. Okay, CAR. Now, CAR, C stands for commands, A stands for advice and R stands for requests. So, if there are commands, advices and requests, so it is an imperative sentence. Imperative sentences, in the case of imperative sentences, we use ordered or begged. Oh, sorry, ordered. When we talk about ordered, when there is a command, we use the word ordered. When somebody is requesting someone, then we use begged and pleaded. Begged and pleaded is used in the case of please. If please word has been used, okay, sorry, if please word has been used, you use pleaded or begged. Implored can also be used. Implored can also be used. Okay, all these words can be used in the case of please. Advised. Now, advice comes in the case of advice, and demanded also can come under the command, okay, or an advice, okay, not in advice but in command. So as I told you, the reporting verbs are already given to you in the type of questions that are being asked in the paper. But even if they are not, it would be pretty evident after you solve a lot of exercises. You will be very clear that where you have to use which one. It depends on the type of sentence that is being asked. Okay. Now let's move further. Changes of pronoun. Changes of pronoun. Changes of pronoun. What kind of changes takes place in the pronoun? Direct speech. Sumit said, I am playing. Sumit said, I am playing. Sumit said that he was playing. Now, Sumit said that he was playing. Subject, this pronoun basically, they are talking about the subject. The first thing, the first page, I told you that, you know, how subjects change. How subjects change. Again, I'm repeating. See, here it's written, first person generally changes into the third person. Now, Sumit said remained same. Then we removed a comma, then we put that. Then I changed into he, and am changed into was because the tense was being changed. I am playing, it's in present continuous, and the sentence changed into past continuous, and it is a change of tense. And how the tenses change, that I'm going to explain you further. But as I told you that here the change of pronoun has been told. As I told you again, the first person changes into the third person, the second person changes into the first person, and the third person remains the third person. Okay, fine. Now let's move further. Changes of tenses. This is very important. Changes of tenses, it's very simple. You just have to remember 6 tenses. 6 tenses, and it's very simple. And after the 6 tenses, there is no change. Now, Sumit said, I like to play. This sentence is clearly in present simple. Now, if we look at it carefully, Sumit said remains same. The comma changed into that. I changed into he. As we told you that the pronoun changes, I changes into he. The first person changed into the third person. He liked to play. Okay, he liked to play. Let's just underline, let's just circle the changes. 3 changes took place. Sumit said, comma was replaced by that. Now, I changed into he, and like changed into liked. So basically, this is in past simple. Present changes into past simple. Okay, now next one. Sumit said, I'm playing. This is clearly your continuous tense. Okay, this is your continuous tense. Okay, continuous tense. Sumit said, I am playing. Now, Sumit said that he was playing. Okay, what changed? Sumit said that he was playing. These were the changes that took place. So, present continuous changed into past continuous. As simple as that. Sumit said, I have played this game. Sumit said, I have played this game. Now, this is your present perfect. Okay? This is your present perfect. Sumit said, I have played this game. Sumit said that he had played this game. Have played changed into had played. So, this is clearly past perfect. You just have to take care. You just have to see that where have I circled. I have circled the changes, and the changes are not much. What we have done, we have just replaced the comma with that. We have not, changed the reporting verb. The reporting verb said remained said. The comma was replaced by that. And then we changed the subject or pronoun. You can say, okay, pronoun or subject, that we changed, and we changed the tense. And rest of the subject, rest of the, sentence remained same. Sumit said, I have been playing this game. I have been playing this game. So this is your present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous. Sumit said, I have been playing this game. Sumit said that he had been playing that game. Here, one more change took place. Sumit said that, see, comma replaced by that, I replaced by he, have replaced by had, and playing this game changed into that game. That is another topic that we are going to discuss, that where do the situations change. This changed into, okay, this is very important, this game changed into that game. So this is present perfect continuous, this is your past perfect continuous. Fine. Okay. Sumit said, I played this game last week. I played this game last week. What kind of a sentence it is? This is your simple past. Simple past. Sumit said, I played this game last week. Sumit said that, I changed into he, has played, had played. See, this game, played changed into had played. Played changed into had played. This changed into that, and the last week changed into the previous week. Last changed into previous week. There were multiple changes here. What kind of sentences? What kind of changes were there? When the changes are very logical, then it's very simple to understand. Okay, the things that do not follow the logic, they are more difficult to understand. But if you just understand the logic behind that, it's more clear to you. Okay, now simple past, you can clearly see, has been changed into past perfect. Okay, simple past changed into past perfect. Comma was replaced by that, I was replaced with he, and played was replaced by had played. This changed into that, and last week changed into the previous week. So it's pretty evident that all these things are very logical. It's in a very logical order, and you just need to memorize a few things. Okay, now let's talk about further. Sumit said, I was playing this game when Rajesh came home. Sumit said, I was playing this game when Rajesh came home. So this is pretty evident that this is of past continuous. This sentence is of past continuous. Sumit said, comma replaced by that, I replaced by he, was playing changed into had been playing. Was changed into had been playing when Rajesh came home. So you can see here that past continuous changed into past perfect continuous. Very simple. Sumit said that he had been playing game when, playing that game. This game changed into that game. That game when Rajesh came home. I hope it's clear to you. Now, Sumit said, I had played this game before you came. Okay, this is in past perfect. Past perfect. Sumit said, I had played this game before you came. Sumit said that he had played that game before. See, had played, remained, had played. No change. No change. As I told you, you just have to memorize 6 changes. This is the 7th one. This is the 7th tense, and in the 7th tense, there is no change. So, Sumit said that he had played, this changed to that, game before he came, before you. Sorry, you also changed into he. So, as I told you, second person here changed into the third person. Second person can change into the third person as well. Okay, there can be a few instances where the second person can also change into third person. Okay, this may be the case when they are not telling this to you. Okay, they are not directing it to you. Okay, they're not talking to you, but they are talking about someone that you did this. Okay, so in that case it changes into the third person. But as I told you that the more you practice, the more you will come to know. Sumit said, I will play this game. This is in simple future. This is a case of simple future. So what happened here? Sumit said that I changed into he and will change into would. Would play this game, change into that game. So simple future, what did we see? That will change into would. So there are many changes. Will changes into would, shall changes into should, and can changes into could. So these are the changes that you're going to see, and we're going to talk about it. So any change that can take place has been covered in this class. Now, in general, present tense becomes past tense and present perfect becomes past perfect. So the thing I have told you has been written here. Now, further, change of situation. There is also a change of situations. Mukesh said, I read this book last week. This is direct speech. I read this book last week. Mukesh said that I changed into he. This book read changed into had read. That book the last week changed into the previous week. See, we have done similar kind of sentence. Mukesh said that. Now here we can see that this sentence was in simple past. Okay, simple past changed into past. Okay, so read changed into had read. Okay, so it changed into had read. So this we can see, but here they are focusing more on this detail, that last week changed into previous week. So this is what you have to remember. The situations change. This becomes that. Last week becomes previous week. Here changes into there. Now to then. Today to that day. Yesterday changes into the day before or the previous day. Tomorrow changes into the next day or the coming day. Last week changes into the week before or the previous week. And next month changes into the next month or the coming month. So these are the changes that you have to take care of. And these are quite evident. You can see here that these are very logical if you try to understand it. And I'm telling you that the more examples you solve, the more you are going to get the reason behind it, that why we have changed these situations. Okay, now let's move further in case of questions and answers. Question and answers, see, as I told you, we would also be discussing the interrogative sentences. Okay, interrogative sentence. See, these are the interrogative sentences, and the first question, the first thing that we are going to do here is, the first case that we are going to see here is of the case when the answer is in yes or no. Okay, when sometimes a question has been asked from you wherein the answer is yes or no. So how do you have to change that kind of interrogative sentence? Mukesh asked, have you read this book? Have you read this book? Now this question, the answer should be yes or no. That yes, I have read this book, or no, I haven't read this book. So Mukesh asked if or whether. See, comma changed into, it didn't change. Comma changed into if or whether. It didn't change into that, it changed into if or whether. Mukesh asked whether I had read that book. Whether I had read that book. You changed into I. Why? Because this was, they were asking to me. They were asking to me. That is why they have used you. So you is directly they are talking about me. So Mukesh asked if, whether I had read that book. So have changed into had. So this is your sentence of, this is a case of present perfect. Present perfect changed into past perfect, and as simple as that, this changed into that. I hope it is clear to you. So this is only in the case if the question has been asked in yes or no, if the answer is in yes or no, then we replace comma not with that but with if or whether. Okay, Mukesh asked, where is the book? Where is the book? So here we are concerning a question which has a WH family. What happens in the case of WH family? Mukesh asked, where is the book? Mukesh asked where the book was. Mukesh asked where the book was. Here the comma was not replaced. Here the comma has been removed, but it did not replace with anything. So where remained where? Where the book was. Only the structure of the sentence changed. Where is the book changed into where the book was. So there are multiple ways of asking it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this. Okay, so when we are talking about WH word, when we use the WH word or WH family, I hope you know what's WH family. WH family is where, when, why, how, what. Okay, for yes or no questions we use if or whether. For WH questions, use a WH family. WH family does not change. WH family remains the WH family. What remains what? Why remains why? How remains how. Okay, word order. Word order, only the order of the word can be changed. Mukesh asked, what's the matter? Mukesh asked what the matter was. Mukesh asked what was the matter. Only the word order has been changed, so you can write it anyway. It's so simple. It's very simple. Mukesh asked what was the matter. We just removed the comma. We just removed the inverted commas, and that's it. Even we removed the question mark. It's so simple. We just did not put anything. We did not make any changes. We just removed the commas and inverted commas. Mukesh asked what was the matter. Only the tense was changed. The tense was changed. What is the matter changed into? What was the matter? Okay. The word order can be either. The word can be order. Order can be anything. Okay. It can be either who, which, what, plus complement plus be or who, which, what, be, complement. Okay, these can be, either of these can be used. So the order can be anything. Okay, just you have to focus on removing the comma, inverted commas, changing the tense, and that's it, and removing the question mark. You have to remove the question mark. And now a lot of students ask me that why is the question mark removed? The question mark is removed because when there is a dialogue, he's telling the direct dialogue. In the dialogue, a question was being asked. But here you are telling it as a statement. So the statement is positive. It's not an interrogative sense. That is why we are going to remove the interrogatory mark. We are not going to put the question mark in this case. Okay, now reported speech using present and future tenses. So when we are talking about the present and future tenses, so this is the case when we do not make the changes in the tense. Then the tense does not change. Okay. Mukesh said the sun rises in the east. This is a universal truth. So here when we are changing into indirect sentence, Mukesh said the sun rises in the east. Okay, so this is your universal truth. The tense is not changed in the case of universal truth. We cannot change it into Mukesh said that the sun rised in the east, because it still rises in the east. This is not going to change. That is why the indirect speech is not going to change. Mukesh said, I will read this book. Mukesh said, I will read this book. Now this is sure. He is going to read that. This task has not been completed yet. That is why Mukesh said that he will read that book. So the comma was removed. That came. I changed into he and will read that book. The tense did not change. The tense did not change because this is what he was going to do. This is future tense. If the original speaker's present and future tense is still present and the future, the tense remains unchanged. If his future hasn't changed yet, if he is going to do that in future, or if the present is not going to change, then you also do not change the tense. Okay, this is the reason. Okay, this is the reason. I hope that you understood this thing. What you have to do, as I told you, that if the original speaker's present and future is still present, and the future, the tense remains unchanged. The tense is not going to change. Okay. Now, in case of modal verbs, what happens in the case of modal verbs? Can becomes could. So modals, how do the modals change? As I have told you, will changes into would, shall changes into should, and may changes into might, can changes into could. Okay. Would, should, could, might, ought to, and most are unchanged. And must are unchanged. If it's already would, should, could, might, ought to, and must, then they are unchanged. Then there are no changes. If they're already talking about would, should, if they're already using would, should, then that is not going to change. Example, Mukesh said, I can solve this sum. Mukesh said, I can solve this sum. See, this is in direct tense. Mukesh said, I can solve this sum. Mukesh said that he could solve that sum. So, said, comma was replaced by that, I was replaced by he, and can changed into could. Okay, and this changed into that. Okay. So, here can change into could. Similarly, will changes into would, shall changes into should, and may changes into might. So these are the changes that you need to look upon. So these are the questions. These are the questions from your sample paper. Okay, from your latest sample paper. So this you have to see what kind of questions can come in your exam. Now, read the conversation between a doctor and his patient. Complete the sentence by reporting the patient's reply correctly. Doctor, do you feel down from time to time, Mr. Gopalan? Just look at this sentence. Now, patient says, yes, I do not stay in a good mood. So, this is your direct speech. This is clearly your direct speech. This is your direct speech. The doctor, while trying to figure out his patient's ailment, asked about his well-being, to which the patient affirmed. Now, affirmed here is the reporting verb. This is your reporting verb. Okay. And what would be the answer? The doctor, while trying to figure out his patient's ailment, asked about his well-being, to which the patient affirmed, yes, I do not stay in a good mood. See, yes, he has already, written affirmed. Affirmed means she said yes. Okay, the patient said yes, I do not stay in a good mood. What we have to do? I is in the first person. We change. First, we are going to change it into the third person. He do not stay. He. Okay. The gender of the patient is not written here. The gender of the patient is not written here. So we can change it into he. Yes, he did not feel good. If the gender of the patient is not given, then we have to just clearly see it's written, the doctor, while trying to figure out his patient's ailment, asked about his well-being. The gender is given. To which the patient affirmed. Affirmed means he said yes, he did not feel good. So what we did, this sentence, I do not stay in a good mood, this is in simple present. So the simple present changed into simple past. And as you know the rule, did plus V1. Did plus V1. That is why we did not change the tense of feel. We did not change the tense of feel. He did not feel good. I hope you understood. This is how you have to solve the question. Now, grandson asks, Grandpa, who are your superheroes? Grandpa, anyone who shows kindness and compassion to others. So this is the direct speech. The grandson is asking about grandpa's superheroes, and grandma said that anyone who shows kindness and compassion to others. Now, in response to the question about his superheroes, grandpa says that anyone who shows kindness and compassion, are we going to change anyone directly to anyone? That the ones who showed kindness and compassion to others. See, what we did, that this is in present tense. Okay, this is in simple present. We changed it into simple past. But what we did, we changed anyone into the ones. We cannot write anyone. The ones. In response to the question about the superheroes, grandpa says that the ones who showed, shows change into showed. The ones who showed kindness and compassion others. So this is how you have to solve. Sometimes you need to take care of the kind of question that has been asked. If it's anyone, then you have to change it into the ones. Okay, anyone change into the ones. Now the next question. Father, why ask so many questions? Lata, I believe that if you don't know the answers, keep asking till you do. Okay. This is a humorous question. Father asked Lata the reason for the many questions, the reasons for the many questions she was asking. Lata exclaimed good humoredly. Okay. She gave the humorous answer humoredly that in event of not knowing the answer, one should, what should one do? One should keep asking till one does, kept asking till one does, keep asking till one do, or kept on to ask till one do. So what will come here? What would be the answer? This you have to tell me in the homework. Okay, this is your homework. This is what you have to, okay, solve on your own. Okay, have to give this answer to me. What is going to be the answer of the third question? You have to just look into, you have to just read the question very carefully. What is it trying to do, and what kind of situation, what kind of change takes place here? Okay, I have explained to you that where do you have to make the changes, where you do not have to change the tenses. So this is where you need to use your brain, and you need to tell me that which is going to be, which option is the most closest and which answer is correct. Okay, I hope that you understood the reported speech, and if you have any doubts, you can just let me know in the comment section. Okay, thank you so much for this class. We'll meet in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.